I'm not as successful as a chief dad officer because I have zero authority on on my kids, especially my little daughter. She's 5 years old. She's my princess, and she decides at all. I'm spoiling her, and she's the boss. Anyway, those three kids that I love so much start asking me questions about what I do. It's like, Daddy, what do you do at work? When I have a business dinner, for example, I come late, and in the next day say, like, we didn't see you last night. Where were you? What were you doing? When I'm explaining to my three kids what I do at work, again, am I going to tell them about a EBITDA? Again, am I going to tell them about a pitch deck? Am I going to tell them about a business plan? No, I want to tell them about the impact. I want to tell them, you know what, Daddy launched a refurbished smartphone company because producing a new smartphone is a catastrophe for the environment.
When my first daughter was born, I told my wife, literally, she was born, I went for 2 weeks off, to take care of the baby. I didn't actually sleep for any of the 14 days. It was brutal. And then I was like, hangover from this kind of first 2-3 weeks with the baby. And then I was like, I'm quitting. If I don't do a startup now, I will be so comfortable with having a job that I would never do it. So every day that my daughter, my first daughter, grows, every day I'm going to be getting far away from the dream to go and build a company properly, meaning not within a company, not on the side, but going all in.
How did your wife, support you in that? Did she support you in that? I guess she was also, doing a career herself, and she was also very ambitious, and
yeah, I mean,
it was hard
obviously
for her first baby. I don't know.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been possible. I mean, without her. So I had the full support.
If you were expected as a founder to move, let's say, to London, would you do that at this point? I know that you also have a family and the baby. How do you combine these things? Yeah,
it's very important to have your family close to you. You need some very stable pillars in order to have one which is extremely uncertain, as we do with the business. So to balance this, for me, the family is very important, and I want to have them close. So if at some point I would need to move in order to grow the business, I would only do so if I would have the family with me. If not, we would try to find another solution.
I know that your wife is also very successful in business. Can you maybe also give us some, your best advice on how do you make this work, this double career couple?
It's very intense for family purposes. My wife is a brilliant executive. She spent also time in technical government. She was Deputy Minister of Economy, and recently she was Deputy Minister of Finance. She prefers the expert and the technical roles, and she's been excelling at that, but that comes with a lot of toll in terms of family time and how you operate as a family. You need a lot of understanding on both sides and a lot of effort to make it work.
It was a very purple thing that sparked my entrepreneurial drive, and this was the birth of my first kid. My first kid was purple. For a couple of seconds, of course. For those of you that are not fathers yet and might become, just do that. It's a really amazing experience, and it actually proved me that risk-taking is actually something that I want, and I can, and I like. So not a lot of entrepreneurs start when they have a kid. They say it's too complicated. But I think that gave me a lot of stamina and a lot of courage to actually release myself to some extent from the amazing jobs that I had, and actually go full frontal in designing my own company and organizations. Have a profound impact on the world. I know, of course, we all know what mothers do, right? Or we think we know. But being a parent is a full-time job. To some extent, raising a company is a full-time job. So one of my lessons was, you can't really start a company or an NGO or a movement if you just dedicate half an hour.
Love your parents for what they didn't do well. Accept that they did as best that they could, but the shame that you feel when you make a mistake, it's not your emotion. See it and accept it and put it aside. Okay, live with it, but no, it's not a correct feeling towards mistake.
Don't carry it around with you, and
don't carry it around. Okay, don't put your head down when you make a mistake. Talk about it. So I tell them, let's talk about what went wrong.
My mom is a hustler. That's what I call her, because she's not an entrepreneur. She's not running like formal traditional businesses, but she has all kinds of ventures on the side. She's painting t-shirts, and she's making products, and she has a flower business. So she has all of those small ventures on the side that you could call businesses, but it's not like it's not what people usually think of as a business. And the fact that she has pushed us so much to participate in things, to build opportunities for ourselves. She moved us from the small village where we were born, where she was born and she lived her entire life, closer to the capital of Moldova, Chisinau, so we can get a better education. So I think that is a form of entrepreneurship. She definitely has an entrepreneurial spirit that is super, super strong. And I think I learned entrepreneurship in a way from her without having the terminology for it, without knowing that this is entrepreneurship, just intuitively, from her hustle, from her spirit, from her ambition, from the drive that she had. I saw that in her work and her work ethics, and I took that and I incorporated it in the businesses that I'm running today.
Throughout the years, I've had many people influenced my entrepreneurship kind of journey. Certainly the first one was my father. Then the second one probably was actually my co-founder at Telerik, at Orsani Din. So Diana Miro's father. I remember super clearly how he told us it's not important, and it's not the most important thing to save money, but it's to make more money.
My personal hero is
my mom.
how important it is to find someone that's not only intellectually supportive, but also inspires you to do better, to do more. So what's the hidden role of the partner in life that enables people to do better, according to your personal opinion?
Yeah, well, behind this frontline story of what's happening on a professional level and so on, there's a personal story, and a lot of the decisions that I've actually taken are prompted by personal situations, different people in my life. And this is so true for so many people, when you're tracking a person's professional life story, a lot of the cases in which they have moved from one country to another or switched jobs or taken a particular decision, it's very frequently prompted by, personal life. But yeah, he's been really a major factor in a lot of the things that I've chosen as a focus. My interest in the Middle East was definitely related to my relationship with him, me trying to take up Arabic as well, and just trying to find a way to communicate with his family. We're not two separate entities, the professional one and the personal one. We're one whole, and it's all in an interplay. So for me, it has been so interesting and so inspiring, and just it has been so fruitful to have him by my side and to bounce ideas off of each other. And he's had such a major role in everything that I've built.
Happy holidays, Recursive community. We hope you'll enjoy wonderful time with your loved ones. The Recursive podcast will be back in January with some great conversations with innovators from Southeast Europe. Until then, you can enjoy all the episodes on our YouTube channel or at therecursive.com.